Hi, I'm Chris Lewis, firefighter for the Lakeville Fire Department, and welcome to another edition of On Call. The goal of this program is to educate and inform the citizens of Lakeville about how their all-volunteer fire department trains and responds to emergencies. Let's take a look at what's coming up on this edition of On Call. We stop by a training session and see how we train when a firefighter needs to be rescued. Next, Fire Chief Mike Meyer introduces our newest employee, Assistant Fire Chief Charlie Smith. In Ask the Firefighter, Derek Gaborski from Station 1 answers a viewer question about how to properly operate a fire extinguisher. I will get you caught up in the latest happenings around the fire department, and Spot the Fire Dog learns how to stay safe around fireworks. The Lakeville Fire Department was established in 1884 as a volunteer organization to provide fire protection for Lakeville and the surrounding area. The department is allocated to have 90 firefighters, and currently we are in need to fill paid on-call positions at Station 1, 3, and 4. Potential candidates must pass an agility test to be considered for the positions. Applications are available on the city's website or in person at Fire Administration at Station 4 until the deadline. If you are watching this after the deadline, you can apply next time when we need more firefighters, which is traditionally every 12 to 18 months. For more information on joining the fire department, visit the city's website at lakevillemn.gov. There's more to the firefighter's job than extinguishing fires. We respond to a variety of emergency situations, protect people, the environment, and property from all types of accidents and emergencies. Helping others out in their time of need is one reason we do this job. But what happens when a firefighter needs assistance or needs to be rescued while on a scene? To answer that question, I'm here with Lieutenant from Station 3, Todd Munson. Todd, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
So, what do we do? Why don't you explain to us what we do when a firefighter needs rescuing?
Well, Chris, what we do is we try to get the firefighter out of the hazard zone.
Okay.
So we have different pulls, drags, techniques to get them out of harm's way.
Okay.
In the background, what we have is people doing a one-person drag, a two-person drag. We call the mega mover, which is a person, we can put a person in a bag and move them out.
Right.
And then there's a two-person push-pull drag. Different techniques for different situations, moving up a stairs, down a stairs.
Out windows?
Out windows,
like
yeah, wherever, to get them out of the hazard zone.
Okay.
We don't administer first aid inside a hazard zone like a burning house.
Right.
We get them outside of the house.
Okay.
So.
And then are we going to be in charge of the first aid? Are we giving that to...
Medics are usually on scene.
Okay.
So we try to get them out of the hazard zone, outside of the building, turn them over to the medics and have them take care of that.
Get their gear off and turn
Yes.
them. Okay.
Yep.
So Todd, so imagine that you're command and I'm in with my team on a fire.
Yes.
Explain to me what communication is like. What would I say? What would you hear? And what would happen with the radio?
During a fire, what we have is called PAR checks.
Yep.
Okay, personal accountability. So if we radio in and say, Team 1, do you have PAR? You say, no, I'm missing one. You know, one's down. We say their name. It automatically comes out to command as a Mayday, Mayday, Mayday.
Yep.
All the communication shuts down and we go to emergency traffic. And then that's when we have the RIT team is sent in to administer whatever they need to get the firefighter out.
Okay, so what is the RIT team? Explain
The
to me.
RIT team is a rapid intervention team.
Okay.
So they have rescue bottles. They're set up with certain axes, anything ropes that we can use to get the people in and get the people out. So it's called a rapid intervention team.
So I would relay to you from the inside.
Yes.
Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Firefighter Lewis is down, or somebody on my team.
Yep.
Here's what we have on air. Here's where we are located.
Yep.
Or we're missing somebody. All right, Todd. So why don't you give me a couple of examples of what might be a reason that a firefighter could need a Mayday?
Well, some are out of air, some broken leg, fell through a floor, heart attack, stuff like that.
I know things like getting disoriented or
Yes.
lost in there.
Yep.
Or the time where the ceiling came down on you, right?
Yep, I was in a structure ceiling collapse, buried in sheetrock, and they called the Mayday, and they had to come in and get me out of there. So.
Right. So, okay, fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us and explaining how we work and train to save each other on a fire. And thanks for being with us today.
Thanks, Chris.
When we come back, Fire Chief Mike Meyer introduces you to our new Assistant Fire Chief.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome to another edition of Chief Corner. I'm Fire Chief Mike Meyer, and today I'm joined by the new Assistant Chief, Charlie Smith. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Charlie is moving to a full-time position as the Assistant Chief, and tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll get into some of the roles and responsibilities that you have as the Assistant Chief.
Okay, I came from the City of Duluth Fire Department. I was on that fire department for 17 years, and I've been a career firefighter for about 22 years. I've held multiple positions in the fire department, all the way from firefighter to deputy fire chief, and my last assignment was a captain on a ladder truck at the headquarters fire station.
Okay. And being this, you're new to Lakeville Fire Department, what do you think so far as us as a paid-on-call department versus a full-time department?
Having never worked in a paid-on-call environment, it was new to me, and I'm very impressed by the entire fire department, the capability of all the personnel that work here, the leadership of the fire department. It's well run, well managed, and well equipped. And from what I've seen, I'm impressed, and I'm extremely happy to be here.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit about what your role is as the Assistant Chief for us.
As the Assistant Chief, I'll be taking over the training role for the large part of the fire department, organizing training, scheduling training, record keeping, filling in for the chief when you're out of town, and taking care of those administrative duties, and an active role in leading training.
All right. And part of the position's also in this coming fall that we're going to be starting up a duty crew program. So also you'll be overseeing that. So a little bit about some information on what you know so far about the duty crew program. And
the duty crew program is an excellent program. It'll help maintain our response times and our response gaps that may occur during the day. And having two of our paid-on-call personnel staffing in the station from about 8 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon to cover any emergencies that might occur. And this will reduce our response times and provide a better service to the citizens of Lakeville.
Okay. So one of the certifications that you came with is emergency management. So tell us a little bit about your background, your certifications and that regarding that, and how that's going to benefit us as a department and a city.
Sure. I obtained my emergency manager certificate from the state a few years ago, and along with getting that certificate, I was able to apply those emergency management principles in a practical way during the 2012 flood event in the city of Duluth. That flood event was a flash flood event that lasted about 3 days for the initial operations, where I was the incident commander during evacuation of one of our neighborhoods, which consisted of about evacuating 100 people and continued search efforts, and then operations in the emergency operations center after that.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me on Chief's Corner, and welcome to Lakeville Fire Department.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Here are some of the details from calls and activities that have been happening around the fire department. There have been some significant calls for service since our last show, including this structure fire on Javelin Avenue in northern Lakeville. When first responders arrived, the house was full of smoke and a report that someone was still in the residence. Once firefighters arrived, they went in to search for the person and started to fight the fire. Unfortunately, they found someone in one of the bedrooms, but it was too late to save her. The next day, Farmington called for mutual aid for a structure fire on 245th Street in Eureka Township. Special thanks to the neighbor that shot this video. There are no hydrants in the area, so all water had to be trucked in to fight the fire. Eventually, firefighters got the fire under control, but there was substantial damage done to the structure. Lakeville responded to another mutual aid fire on Debris Path in Farmington a few weeks later. Firefighters from other neighboring communities also assisted on the call. This fire started in the garage and quickly spread to the rest of the house. Unfortunately, the house sustained catastrophic damage from the fire. While firefighters tried to control it, the fire did damage to some neighboring houses. This is a great example of helping out other fire departments when there is a major incident in the community. This fire on Oak Shore Drive was the result of someone burning items in their backyard, and the fire got out of control. Firefighters were able to put it out before it spread to any structures. This homeowner on Excelsior Drive had an issue with the grill. The unit started on fire and spread to the house. Luckily, it was put out before any more damage could be done. This is a good reminder to stay with your grill and to maintain the unit as per manufacturer's instructions. And it's a good idea to keep a fire extinguisher close by, just in case something like this would ever happen. A few days later, LFD was called out to a dryer fire on Glacier Way. The unit malfunctioned, starting a fire, and the house began to fill with smoke. Firefighters put the fire out, removed the unit, and ventilated the house. Luckily, no one was injured, but there was some interior damage to the house. Crews were called out recently on a power pole on fire behind a house on Galena Avenue. When firefighters arrived, they found that a transformer blew and started the fire, which now started to burn the grass. Crews quickly worked to put out the fire, and once all things were cooled down, the electric company was allowed to come in and replace the transformer. Firefighters have responded to a variety of vehicle fires recently. The first one was actually an old truck that was being scrapped at a business in southern Lakeville. While cutting up the vehicle, it started on fire and employees couldn't get it under control, so they called for help. Firefighters from Station 1 brought the tender out to put out the fire. After a lot of water was sprayed on the truck, eventually things were cooled down. The owner of this car got a surprise when he stopped by the Cedar Avenue Cub Foods. Firefighters from Station 2 and 4 responded and quickly put out the fire. It appears the fire started in the engine compartment. Luckily, no one was injured in the incident, but the vehicle most likely will be a complete loss. LFD, along with police, Alina Ambulance Service, and North Memorial Air Care, participated in a mock crash this spring at Lakeville South High School. Students from the school's MAD organization participated as victims in the mock crash. The event is a way to show high school kids the result of an accident when poor choices are made while driving. LFD held its first Fields of Fire fundraiser at MN Pro Paintball this spring. Over 50 people participated in the event and raised over $3,700 for the Lakeville Public Safety Foundation. If you would like more information on what the foundation does, please visit their website at www.lpsfmn.org or search for them on Facebook. Firefighter and Rookie of the Year was awarded at the annual LFD banquet. Walter Brands from Station 2 is LFD's Firefighter of the Year, and Rookie of the Year was awarded to Zach Wise as a firefighter out of Station 3. Congratulations to Walter and Zach on your accomplishments. In May, LFD held the annual blood drive at Station 4. Over 55 pints of blood were donated for the American Red Cross. Special thanks goes out to all that stopped by to donate their blood. And finally, a group of children from Lakeville's EFCE program recently learned about staying safe and toured the fire department. Lakeville's Fire Inspector Jay O'Connell, along with Captain Kevin Needham, showed some of the fire techniques firefighters use and also let the kids check out some of the fire trucks. And that's just some of the things happening around the fire department.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Hi, I'm Derek Gaborski, firefighter out of Station 1 here in Lakeville. And today's Ask the Firefighter question comes to us from Terry. And she asks, how do I properly use a fire extinguisher? Thanks for your question, Terry. Although there are many types of different fire extinguishers, they all act in relatively the same manner. The first thing that needs to happen when you need to use a fire extinguisher is to have someone call 911. It is important to get fire responders alerted just in case you don't put the fire out by yourself. Before you attempt to put out the fire, you need to make sure that you are using the proper extinguisher for the type of fire. For the home, the most common is a ABC dry chemical fire extinguisher. This multi-purpose extinguisher is good because it can put out the three most common types of home fires: wood and paper fires, Class A, grease and oil fires, Class B, and electrical fires, Class C. All extinguishers work in a similar manner, and an easy way to remember how to use one is to think of the acronym PASS. PASS stands for pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. Pull the pin at the top of the extinguisher, aim the nozzle at the base of the fire, not at the flames, squeeze the handle to release the extinguishing agent, sweep the spray back and forth across the fire until it's out. The amount of time the extinguisher will operate is related to its size. Small ones might only last 10 to 30 seconds. Most larger ones will last longer but will be depleted in less than a minute. No matter what the size, using the PASS technique is your best bet for putting out the fire. Thanks for your question, Terry. If you have a question for Ask the Firefighter, use the contact information on your screen.
This is I, Spot the Fire Dog, because I like to spot and stomp out the fires. Hey, it's getting close to us being in the middle of a summertime. And you know what happens in the middle of summertime? People love to do fireworks, but you know, I've always wondered what is good and bad about fireworks. So I thought I'd go and talk to my good friend Jay O'Connell to get the inside scoop. That way! Hey, Jay! Jay Grove! Hey, Jay, it's me, Spot the Fire Dog.
Hey, Spot, what are you up to today?
Hey, I'm very excited, Jay, because it is summertime! And I am so excited to watch some fireworks, but I just recently heard that there is something called illegal fireworks. So I thought that maybe you could tell me the difference between legal and illegal fireworks.
All right. Well, let's start with legal fireworks.
Oh, good.
Here in Minnesota, they have made some laws that they can allow some very basic fireworks.
Like what?
Sparklers.
Oh, Jay, I love sparklers.
Yep, just like sparklers. These are legal. We've got fountains that you can do that stand on the ground and shoot up sparks.
Now, most of these, they don't shoot far up in the air, correct?
What happens is they stay on the ground and they shoot the fireworks out of the container. The container does not leave the ground.
Very good. Now, what about illegal fireworks, Jay? What do they look like and what do they do?
Well, illegal fireworks come from other states. Their laws are different, so they can have different fireworks. So this one is a Roman candle.
Yeah.
Okay. This one, when you hold it, it's shooting out items, so it's aerial. So this is illegal.
Okay.
We've got some other rockets here.
Okay.
That you put these in the ground. Once you light them, the wick goes, and then they launch up into the sky, and then they explode. Now, exploding is also illegal.
Okay.
And that's what brings you into the
firecrackers.
The firecrackers, correct. So these are illegal in Minnesota, as well as the bottle rockets.
Now, wait a minute.
illegal.
I have a question about those firecrackers.
Yes.
Are those good in soup?
They are not good in
Those
soup.
aren't the type of crackers you put in soup.
Correct.
No. Very good. Okay, now, my head is spinning here, Jay. My big thing and yours is safety. If you are using these legal fireworks here in Minnesota, what do you do?
Okay. Well, you want to be over 18 years of age to light them off.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to make sure that you're not drinking when you're lighting these off. Okay. You
Yeah.
want to make sure you have
And you're talking about adult beverages.
adult beverages,
Yeah,
correct.
gotcha.
You want to make sure that you have the ability to extinguish these into like a bucket of water or a bucket of sand.
Or a
'cause-
hose?
Or a
Water
hose,
hose?
because sometimes the fireworks don't all go off in the container.
Gotcha. Very good.
So-
Now, should we stay real close to them like with the sparklers? You know,
The
those
sparklers can get up to 1,300 degrees. So with the sparklers, you definitely want to make sure that you stake them into the ground. That's safer
Yeah.
than holding them, because the sparklers will get on your arm and you can get burns from that.
So, your message to everyone out here for the 4th of July is be safe with fireworks and don't use ones that are illegal, correct?
Correct.
Well, Jay, now if you use the legal fireworks, is it okay to like let them off in a city park?
You cannot light them off in the park. You need to
No?
light them off on your own property.
Okay.
You don't want to do it in the street, okay? So you want to make sure that you're on your own property, because otherwise that's illegal, doing it in the city park or on government property.
Yeah, and like you said, they still shoot off fire and it's really hot and you don't want to set anybody's house or garage on fire, correct?
Correct. And then in the park, the remnants can be left in the park, and you don't want kids picking up the remnants because they might still be live.
Okay, Jay, my final question is this. If I do happen to have some illegal fireworks and I light them off, what could happen to me?
Well, with the illegal fireworks, the police can actually confiscate what you have.
Yeah.
Okay. Same with the fire officials. The police can write you a citation. You may have to go to court.
Oh,
it could be
my.
up to 90 days in jail and a fine.
Oh, wow.
So we really want people to be safe and buy the Minnesota legal fireworks.
Excellent. Well, Jay, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to tell me about all the ways you can stay safe while using these fireworks and also showing me the legal and illegal versions of them.
But Spot, I would recommend that you go see a professional fireworks display like the city puts on for the 4th of July.
Oh, they do a nice job, don't they?
They do.
Well, thanks again, Jay, and we'll see you all next time because I'm Spot the Fire Dog, because I like to spot and stomp out the fires. See you next time, everybody!
Thanks for joining us for another edition of On Call. If you have questions, comments, an idea for the program, or would like to send a question in for Ask the Firefighter, please call 952-985-4700 or use the email address at the bottom of your screen. Thanks for joining us, and all fire units are clear.